fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight, I say, look, it needs to be big.
This fight doesn't happen if you're never born, right? You made this fight happen. Why this fight?
Not me, it is who behind me.
I like Crawford, I get right to it.
Why?
Because he's like the first time you went from regular TV, which you've been doing a long time, to 3D. He's different.
This fight could really turn into a huge event that so many people wanted to see. When did it first hit you? Well, when the people began talking, and of course, everyone around pushed for it. I said, look, this has to be massive. But this fight doesn't even happen if you're not here. You basically made it real. Why this fight? Not just me, it's the people behind me. I like to get straight to it. Why? Because it feels like going from regular television, which you've always known, straight to 3D. He's different. Honestly, that's the simplest way I can explain it.
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? The beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And two of the best pound for pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight, I say, look, it needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if...
This fight, I accepted it because you can see how huge this matchup is. At the start, when they said, would you fight Crawford? I never thought about it. But you realize how massive it really is. Mexican versus American fights always carry weight. Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters, it's huge, and it means a lot for me. When did you truly realize this fight could blow up, be the kind everyone talks about? When people started buzzing and everyone around me tried to make it. I said this has to be big. Especially with Netflix's new era, everyone was interested. That's when I knew the size of this fight. Crawford felt you weren't fully on board at first, since fighting a smaller guy might have seemed lose-lose, you win, no credit, you lose, huge risk. Was that your thought? Yes, but I'd been in that same situation before.
My country and my boss, you know? But really, if you look at as a business, this fight will not happen if we are not involved. As Gia, Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, this is truth. Because even with what the relationship with Netflix, and we are very happy about it, still this fight costs more and more.
Speaking of cost more and more, for everyone who watches it, everyone already has a Netflix account, so they're not paying anything extra for it.
Yeah.
You, however, are the guy who just paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a pay-per-view fight that you wanted to see. So people like to get their money's worth. What do you want to see from this fight?
First, not what I want to see, what all the people around the world, and you are fans of boxing, want to see. It's taken too long. Thanks God. Without the support behind me from my government, my leaders, the Crown Prince and the vision, and without the love of the fans, we will stop not complete. This is what pushed us. This kind of fight, special Canelo Crawford, I want to explain it to you exactly why it is important and the fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing now, and Crawford undefeated and have the chance to be undisputed for the third time. Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford. And for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world. He doesn't want to get beating from guy.
It's my country and my leadership, but in truth, if you view it as business, this fight wouldn't exist without Saudi Arabia. Even with Netflix's partnership, we are proud of it, yet the costs are massive. And speaking of costs, for viewers it's free, already part of Netflix, no extra pay-per-view charges. Yes, but I personally have spent hundreds of millions on fights I wanted. Fans want value. What do you hope to see in this one? First, not only what I want, but what all fans worldwide want to see. It took too long, but thank God, with my government, leaders, the Crown Prince, and love from fans, we made it happen. That's what drives us, this kind of special fight, Canelo versus Crawford. The fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest star in boxing today, Crawford is undefeated, with the chance to be undisputed for the third time. This could even be the last fight for both. It means everything for fans across the Americas and worldwide.
Back in the day, I used Betamax, and then that was good. It was cool. VHS, VCR, all that stuff. I still got them actually. And all of a sudden, digital came around.
There you go.
He's digital, really. And I'm not knocking Canelo for all the people out there that want to pull their arrows now and start slinging shots at me. Hey, that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not knocking him. He's a good, solid guy. He's
Good,
tremendous.
solid guy. He's 63-2, Teddy, and has never been knocked out. And this guy that's
what's
fighting him
his
is
record?
moving up. 63-2.
Wait, what's his record?
63-2.
By who's accounting?
What do you mean by who's accounting? What are you trying to say? That's
what
what
am I trying to say? There's a couple fights there that you might be able to argue there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Starting with Triple G. Just a little bit. A little bit, I mean, you're insulting him a little bit. Like in a movie with De Niro.
I'm not insulting him. I'm pointing out the facts. But here's my point to you, Teddy. He's 63-2.
Lara, how about the Lara fight?
Hold on.
You want to go back further?
Okay. What about Madrimov with Crawford? I'm just saying.
No, he beat Madrimov. He didn't look the way we want him to look.
Okay.
We were stepping up for the first time to that weight class. He didn't look the way that we wanted to say, oh my God.
Stay with me. Let me ask you this question.
And Madrimov was not getting the credit for the kind of fighter that he was.
But let me ask you a question, Teddy Atlas. He didn't look the way you wanted him to look, moving up from 147 to 154. Now he's going from 154 to 2 weight classes to 168 against a guy who's 11-0 at the 168-pound limit and is entering his 12th fight undefeated and has never been knocked out.
Yeah, VHS digital. Did you worry about that jump when you went from VHS to digital? No, you just said we're at digital now, and it looks good. It looks really good, and you look great. No, you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You look tremendous.
But I'm just saying, listen, I believe in Crawford too, and I believe that Crawford is one of the top 2 fighters on the planet. But he is moving up 2 weight classes, and when people look at him going up against Canelo, here's what they're saying. He's got to keep his distance. He's got to hit, stick, and move. He can't stay in front of him.
Back then, I used Betamax. Then VHS, VR, all that. I still got them. Then suddenly, digital arrived. Exactly. Crawford is digital. And I'm not disrespecting Canelo for those quick to jump at me. He's a good guy, solid, strong. He's 63-2 and never stopped. Wait, what's his record? 63-2? Depends who's counting. What do you mean? I mean, some fights you could argue. Just a little bit. Triple G? Yes, maybe. Lara? You want to go back further? And Crawford versus Madrimov, moving up first time, he didn't look the way we expected. But let me ask you this, moving from 147 to 154, now all the way to 168, facing a man 11-0 at that weight, undefeated, never stopped, Crawford faces that. But like VHS to digital, change comes. You didn't worry then. Same now. It looks good. You look good. Thanks. I believe in Crawford too, but moving up 2 divisions, he must stay sharp, stick and move, never stand still.
Think you'll box?
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet
No,
accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
and I
nothing
did
left.
everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself boxing maybe 2 more years? Yeah, maybe. Anything left to achieve you haven't yet done? No, I've done it all. I've achieved everything in boxing. So you're satisfied? Yes, I'm good. When it's all over, maybe in 2 years, how do you want to be remembered? As one of the greatest in boxing history. That's why I started, that's why I fight. I think you've already reached that. Yeah.
Interview we went even deeper on it.
He did. Look, Canelo's achievements that speak for themselves. You see, he's been around a long, long time, 20 years as a pro, and he's beaten, beat some of the best fighters out there for sure. I think that Paulie there is referring to him avoiding Benavidez, the fight that everyone's wanted to see and wanted to make. He's been picking and choosing his own opponents, and yeah, he has had some easy options. And he gets an opportunity to go in against Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford gets the opportunity to go against him. Look, whatever way you want to look at it, I think that you cannot deny how good Canelo has been. He has adapted, he's had to adjust. He now, he stalks forward, he hunts his prey, but he single shots to the body, single shots to the head, and that's why I think timing for Terence Crawford here could be
Duke, me and Spencer have got Terence Crawford. How do you think this fight is won and lost?
Yeah, I think this fight is won for Crawford by sticking to his boxing, which he does beautifully. From the outset, I thought Crawford would win this fight, simply because
You and our game.
he's a great boxer, right? He switches from left to right effortlessly. He's a good stayer. He's got that spite that you need as a champion. What he's done has been done before, albeit, many, many moons ago with Sugar Ray Leonard, when he moved up and boxed Donnie Lalonde from welterweight to super middleweight, but he stopped in between that and boxed Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So that's probably a harder route even still, but I feel that it's a stone difference. It's not really that much, not when you look at the bigger picture. A stone in weight is a lot of weight, of course it is. And sometimes you don't even want to give away a pound in weight, but the fact that he's putting on a stone of pure muscle.
We dug deeper here. Canelo's resume speaks for itself, 20 years pro, beating some of the best. But Paulie suggests he's avoided Benavidez, the fight fans really wanted. He's picked his opponents carefully, some easier than others. Still, you can't deny how great he is adjusting, stalking, targeting body and head. That's why timing favors Crawford. Me and Spencer lean toward Crawford. How's this fight won? For Crawford, by boxing. He switches stances naturally, controls distance, and carries spike like a true champion. This has been done before. Sugar Ray Leonard moved up divisions, fought legends. Crawford adding muscle for a stone difference matters, but it's possible.
All I care about as the promoter of this event is that it's a good fight. Over 65,000 people are coming into this fight live. Who knows how many are going to tune in around the world on Netflix, but what I want is when it's over, everybody turns off the TV or walks out of the arena and goes, I'm so glad I came to this fight.
That was a war.
I mean, I could sit here for an hour and break down the fight, both ways for both guys. But what I truly believe is because Crawford's moving up in weight and this legacy thing is so important to him, he's going to come at Canelo. And you know how Canelo is a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war.
As the promoter, all I want is a great fight. Over 65,000 live fans, millions worldwide on Netflix. But my only wish is that after, everyone leaves thinking, I'm glad I saw this. I could break it down either way, but honestly, with Crawford moving up and chasing legacy, he'll push forward. And Canelo, being a hard counterpuncher, will meet him. I expect a war.
Legendary sparring session with Boots Ennis and Saul Canelo Alvarez, all right? In looking at the footage we have, they show their feet. They don't really show much, and that's good. right? Whatever happens in sparring stays in sparring. You don't want too much revealed. But I think, you know, you can pull something from the footage. Like, post-sparring session, you could just see how friendly Saul Canelo Alvarez and Boots Ennis are.
Almost time.
It's mutual respect. You can just see, you know, and it just feels like Boots gave Canelo some good work. I think if Boots didn't, I think Canelo wouldn't respect him as much. I think Canelo would be like, get out of here. I mean, they couldn't even leave the gym. They kept saying bye to each other over and over and over again like it was a bromance.
Who say he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? Yeah, he said he'll come back and do some work. Oh, yeah? You know what? Never been a fighter? I'll see you tomorrow. And more, if they're scared, they run faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bro, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's like if somebody whipped your ass, like, all right, then, boy, what? Wait.
The now legendary sparring between Boots Ennis and Canelo. From the footage, only feet shown, not much else. Smart, because sparring stays in the gym. But afterward, you could feel the mutual respect. Canelo and Boots were friendly, laughing, almost like brothers. That respect comes only if real work was given. If Boots didn't push him, Canelo wouldn't respect him. They couldn't even leave the gym, kept saying goodbye over and over, like a bromance. You need arms, huh? Pull. Come back. If fear makes you run faster. That's what it looked like.
What I think is best for each fighter, and I think, you know, if I was able to give my advice to Terence, it would be, I think that he should box on the outside, or I think he should be all the way inside.
Wait, all the way inside? That would sound like, no, you don't want to be on the inside, because like Canelo could land body shots.
Yeah, but Terence is a great inside fighter. He's ridiculously strong, and I think the most dangerous place for Terence to be would be in the mid-range, chilling this far from Canelo, at this distance, where Canelo is able to get a lot of leverage and be really explosive, as opposed to what I did to Trevor McCumbee, where I stepped all the way to the inside. And, you know, do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat, or do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat?
This, here.
Exactly.
They can't extend.
They can't gain the same momentum. And just fighting on the outside, sticking, moving, running around, moving around, using his legs for 12 rounds could be a lot. Where, as opposed to him being smart on the outside and moving, and then picking his times and getting all the way to the inside and going to work, and then going all the way back out, all the way back in, all the way back out. But I think chilling at the mid-range with Canelo could be dangerous.
Here's my advice for Crawford. He should either fight outside or fully inside. Wait, inside? Isn't that dangerous with Canelo's body shots? Yes, but Crawford's inside game is underrated. He's strong there. The real danger is mid-range. Canelo gets leverage and explodes. It's like with a baseball bat, you don't want to be at mid-swing distance. Too much power. So Crawford should box from outside, use his legs, then pick moments to dive inside, work, then back out. But staying in the middle range is dangerous.
Years, he's adapted to the weight. It's his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Crawford gotta be real careful in the middle rounds.
When and I've heard you say this before, look, it doesn't matter if you're sparring with heavyweights in sparring.
Yeah.
If you're sparring with 68-pounders, 75-pounders in sparring. When you get clocked with them 10 ounces with no headgear on, it's a different game, a different story. Drop down on that for us for a second. What is so different about it? Is it just a jolt? Is it a shock? What's the difference?
It's different just because it's just the pop. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're sparring heavier guys, it really, yeah, it means something, but it's 16-ounce gloves and it's a headgear. So it's not the same effect. But, you know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Canelo being the same size right now and the same height, people go, oh, well, it's even.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more. Until next time.